Well, hello, everyone. We've made it back to another Wind Down Wednesday. And unfortunately, we have a special guest joining us again because we have so much to talk to you guys about. It just seems like every week Disney is starting to give us something that we are all wishing and hoping for. And boy, we got quite a bit of news today. But first, let's just go around the horn real quick and introduce everyone. I'm Keels. You guys see me way too much on here, so I shouldn't have to be introducing myself to you. But in case you're new, you may want to hit that subscribe button if you're watching on YouTube, and I'll tell you why in just a little bit. But I'm Keels. I am a member of the Crescent Lake Club, and I am joined by in real life it's my left, but on camera to my right, it's Nola Disney Mama. This is Courtney. Courtney, how are you doing?
I'm doing well, going through summer and just waiting for July when all the fun Disney stuff ramps up.
And yes, we have a question in the chat. Who is that gorgeous kid? I guess you're probably talking about this guy down here. Yes, this is the famous Ryan Teets. You may know him from his Instagram live about an hour ago. He goes by Ryan Runs Disney. So if you guys are checking him out on Ryan Runs Disney YouTube, come on over and see us at the Crescent Lake Club because we have some big news for you over here. But how are you doing tonight, Teets?
Not too bad. It's a little hot because our air conditioning is not working, but I'm surviving. So.
How is your air conditioning not working again? Also, I don't want to hear it. It's like 100 down here, and it rains all day long.
Apparently, we needed something's broke, and we needed a part or something, so I don't know. But whatever.
Hi, Jerry. Hi, Ryan. Hi, Kimberly. Hi, everyone in the chat. If you guys are watching, say hi to us in the chat. We love interaction, and we have so much news and so many discussions to have with you guys tonight. I cannot wait for some interaction. So, for you guys that are new to Wind Down Wednesday, usually it is just Nola Disney Mama and I. We took pity on Teets because he didn't get to stream on Monday, and he won't be able to stream next Monday. And he just loves talking on the internet to people in front of the camera. That's why he went on Instagram Live about an hour ago. But also, so we don't have to just constantly have him correct us in the chat on all this breaking news, we decided to have him on. So usually Wind Down Wednesday is when Courtney and I get together, have a cocktail with all of our followers and friends of the Crescent Lake Club, and we talk all the latest travel news. And so this week, Courtney was in charge of picking a cocktail. I'm going to let her introduce it, but then we have a special celebrity guest to tell us all about it. Courtney, take it away.
I was just, riding along on my Peloton, cross-training for these, Run Disney events that were, rumored to come up. And my friend Cody Rigsby introduced what he called his drink of the summer. It's called the Fun and Flouncy, which are his two adjectives to describe his summer. Fun and flouncy. And I really liked it. I was very inspired by that. And his cocktail sounded delicious and refreshing and perfect for a Wind Down Wednesday cocktail. So he described it on one of our rides, but he also put his recipe on his TikTok. I'm too old to have a TikTok, but luckily Google found it for me. So here's Cody describing the Fun and Flouncy.
All right, here we go. I'm going to refresh it so you guys can see him because he's got some hot takes on this drink, and I'm here for it.
Yeah.
Come on, Cody. You can do it, little buddy. I'm an old.
What's up, Boo?
Oh. Wow. Oh,
it's Cody Rigsby, and as promised, I'm here to show you the tutorial on the trashiest summer drink of 2021, the Fun and Flouncy. What you're going to need today is some rosé, a diet lemon lime soda, and some frozen berries.
Okay.
Let's do this.
That's my favorite measurement, or however much you want, babe.
However much you want.
However much. Treat yourself.
and about a quarter cup of lemon lime soda. Diet lemon lime soda.
Happy summer 2021. Cheers to you. Remember, drink responsibly or not. That's on you.
So
What's up?
I love Cody Rigsby. I love his rides. And if you are a Peloton person, you can follow me. I'm Nola Disney Mama. I'd love to high five you, although I never do a live ride because #kids. But it's perfect. I mean, it was perfect. And so I got the ingredients, dropped some off at Keely's house because we were mixing with the rosé. I did not go big. I just got...
For once, it wasn't me.
Well, I've had a sip. Just got some Charles and Charles, like $8, $9, and some Diet Sprite to mix together and make this delicious, fun cocktail for the summer.
I love it. So I have gone heavy while Courtney resets, drinking out of my Run Disney parking lot beer cup. I'm hoping come marathon weekend, I'll be able to find one of these cocktails. Or you know what? Maybe I'll just check this stuff in my gear bag and mix one on my own. Because it's delicious. Mine is a little bit darker because I went heavy on the berries, but I figured they're like ice cubes, but better for you and like antioxidants and all sorts of stuff. This is fantastic. And yes, I did just pour rosé until I felt like stopping. And then I only used like half of the first little bottle of Sprite. What are you drinking, Teets?
I've got a Kona Island Seltzer, passion fruit orange guava flavor.
Those are yummy.
So it's good you're going low key because what time do you have to wake up to go to the airport tomorrow?
Yeah, flight is at 6. So I'll probably I'll be at the airport by 5. So I already got an alert that it's supposed to be busy at the airport. So
Well, everyone's flying.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of busy, we've got a lot to talk about. But first thing I want to get to is we're going to start just a little bit early. So I've been talking on previous streams how we are going to do kind of Christmas in July here on the Crescent Lake Club. And that means we want to give gifts to you, our viewers. And so we are setting some subscription goals. And I'm going to kick it off early. And tonight is going to be our first Christmas in July. I mean, tomorrow's July, but it's basically Thursday already. We made it through Wednesday. So what our goal is tonight, we are currently at 34 subscribers. If we get to 50 subscribers tonight, I am giving one of y'all a $50 Disney gift card. We'll announce it right after the show. I will message you. I'll have that in your hot little hands. And you know what? If you come back, maybe you'll win another one, but you can put this gift card towards your Run Disney registration coming up, either for Wine and Dine Half Marathon Weekend or Marathon Weekend, which we will talk about in just a little bit. This show is chock full, crammed to the gills with, there could be, I have a Teets meet and greet set aside if we reach a super, super superior level of subscriptions. And maybe we will talk about that on our happiest hour this weekend with Teets Live from Universal. But thank you, Ryan, for that suggestion. Oh, I think it could be a Ryan on Ryan meet and greet. I like what I got cooking up here. So first off, we're just going to start with a couple of little bits, little updates, a little around the horn, because we have 3 really big topics to talk about tonight. And they're so big, like I said, that's why we had to bring in Tiny Teets. But we'll start with the little stuff first. So we got the announcement today that starting tomorrow, all the lights and fireworks at Hogwarts at Universal Studios Orlando will be back. And this thing is so fun to see at night. They've already been doing a night show that's kind of themed. They do a little pre-show that's the Olympics, and then they're kind of cinematic spectacular. And then Hogwarts over in Islands of the Adventure, this is kind of their night show. I've seen it before, but it's really cool because Teets thinks they're doing it just for him. Because tomorrow he will be picking up his brand spanking new Universal Orlando annual pass. And, when has Disney ever done fireworks just for you, Teets?
Never. Though they're starting fireworks tomorrow too, so I had to, book some park passes to get over there as well. So they're not keeping me away this time.
This is just Universal Orlando trying to keep your attention on them. So that was fun. That's fun, happy, thumbs up, yay news. Also this week we got a little kind of frowny, sad face, thumbs down news. Disney Cruise Line was anticipating having their first simulated cruise sailing, which is something that is currently required by the CDC for ships to go with basically children on board. And they were planning to use about 300 cast members along with the ship's crew to simulate what a sailing would be like with COVID protocols, if you had to isolate and all these different things. Well, something went awry with the testing, and that has been pushed back. But the language is still good. They still plan to do multiple simulated sailings. So we don't know if this means multiple on the Disney Dream and the Disney Fantasy, or the Disney Dream, the Fantasy, Wonder, the Magic. We don't know. But they will be back. They are going to try to salvage some of the late summer to early fall Caribbean season for Disney Cruise Line. I think that's any other.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Keely, but the issue with DCL halting their test cruise wasn't even that someone tested positive, but that the test results were inconclusive, putting DCL at like an even greater safety standard than is required, and then that a greater safety standard than the other cruise lines are doing. So for better or for worse, they're taking longer to get off the ground, out to sea, however you want to say it, because they're being super, super extra cautious.
Yeah,
they do have more kids than probably any other cruise line.
Absolutely. Carnival is sailing 100% without children. They are doing very small amounts of children on board. You basically have to apply for a waiver process, and you find out 2 weeks at a time if your kiddo gets to sail or not. Royal Caribbean is having more of them, but there's no kids club. Kids have to wear masks, or kids can only go to the kids club like a total of 12 hours over a 7-day cruise. In some places, they can't even get off the port and go to the beach. They're on the ship. So for Disney, it's really important that they get this right. And they were able to identify a definite flaw in their testing process that was causing so many of these tests to come up negative when the CDC requires all your crew members and your simulated passengers to be vaccinated. Also to make those all safe. Yeah. So if they noticed something was going wrong with whatever lab or test or something they were doing, going to shut it down, re-rack, and it looks like probably in about 3 weeks to a month, they'll be going back for another test sailing. So that's that. Any other little bits that I missed before we get into our 3 big topics?
I don't think so.
You sure, Teets? You seem like you wanted to say something.
Well, the only thing is if we wanted to mention the couple small discounts that came out today.
Yeah, we can go ahead and run those through.
Yeah, so we got a Florida resident and an annual pass discount this morning. The Florida resident was mainly just Pop Century. They did say other resorts would be included, but they didn't specify on those. The Pop Century rate was $149 a night, basically just August like 8th through the September 4th. And then the annual pass holder rate was a few more resorts. You had Pop, I think Grand Floridian and Coronado, was it? And then those also same dates, August 8th through September 4th. So it seems like August is going to be a slow time, so they're putting out some discounts for that time.
Interesting to me that they put a rate on it, not a percentage off like they normally do. I think that's interesting. Another discount that was announced yesterday is for Disneyland. They did their armed services, their why is it? If you're the military discount, there we go. Military discount announced starting, I believe, July 6th, because I had some people wanting to book that. So if you're in the military and looking to go to Disneyland, you can get some discounted rates in their rooms there as well.
So yeah, so that's it, you guys. That's all the big news we had to talk about tonight. It was great to see you. Make sure you hit that red subscribe button, bell notifications, because you never know when we're going to go live and tell who won.
Keely, why do you look ridiculous? What are you wearing?
Oh, I just woke
let
up
me interrupt
like this. I just woke up like this. Yeah, just felt. It's almost the Olympics. We've been watching sports so much and so much qualifying, track and field, gymnastics, all of that. Yeah, I just felt like, wearing all of my Run Disney marathon medals that are really itchy in the back and heavy. I forgot how ridiculous this is when you stack them all together on top of each other. Now I am wearing this ridiculous get up, not just for them and all of you on the internet to laugh at me, but I mean, you're going to anyway. But we got some really exciting news today. I think it's something Teens been looking forward to since maybe
March 13th, 2020.
I was gonna say the Monday after or Tuesday after drinking around the world in 2020. So, let's go ahead and say a good 17 months. Teets, do you want to do the drum roll? What's the big word that you got today that made your little tiny teets heart happy?
Well, Run Disney finally announced that in-person racing is back. A lot of people expected it to start with Marathon Weekend, but we are getting a full Wine and Dine Weekend later this year. So we kick it off with Wine and Dine Weekend, the 4th through the 9th, I believe it is, at Walt Disney World. Again, you get the full. It's going to be villains themed again. It looks like exact same characters as last year for the virtual. So Run Disney, cutting corners and using the same themes as previous years. Same thing for Princess. They're using the exact same princesses as last year. The Marathon Weekend all is pretty basic, but they're giving it a 50th kind of overlay, so that's kind of cool. But otherwise, and then we got a big announcement of the new race weekend that will take over Star Wars in the springtime surprise, but not a lot of details yet about that.
Yeah.
So do you want to share what my originals? I know you talked about it on your Instagram live. That's Ryan Runs Disney. He didn't come and do his Run Disney talk on Crescent Lake Club. He just had to go and get out there and present all of his bits and speculation to his masses before coming on stream with us. So earlier when this was all announced, these people like to wake me up at like 8:30 in the morning with text messages about breaking news, and I don't actually read anything. I just look at the pictures because I'm still asleep.
My next to her this morning was about nail polish. So
that's true, and that was important. I think it was to maybe Witty and me. Anyway, so all I did was I just looked at it. I'm like, so that header has It's a Small World flowers, but it's Tower of Terror, Expedition Everest, and Spaceship Earth. Oh my God. They are bringing back all of the crazy races that we wanted. And that's what I told Teets. At first I said, Teets, you have to run Expedition Everest with me because we're either coming in first place or I'm murdering you. Which is fair. Luckily enough, I found Witty's going to be my partner for Expedition Everest, so I don't have to be frustrated, come in last, and then go to prison for murder. So it's really exciting. So yeah, so that's kind of speculation. You guys a bunch of y'all are Run Disney fans. Tell us what you're most looking forward to about this Run Disney announcement in the chat. Are you excited about just in-person races? Are you excited about the new themes? Are you excited about Star Wars finally being wiped away from the face of Run Disney World like it never should have shown up to begin with? You got your land. It doesn't need to infiltrate Run Disney anymore. Me? Well, I'm not really excited about any of it, but
Clearly you're not.
Yeah.
You're not.
Not at all. Courtney, what do you think about today's Run Disney announcement?
As someone who's never done a Run Disney race, but who really wanted to do the Tower of Terror 10-miler, like whenever the last time they did it was, and I saw it, I was like, that's a really cool race. This was before I'd ever done the longest I'd ever done was like a 5K. So the thought of doing a half marathon or full marathon was like completely daunting. And I just thought a 10-mile race ending at Tower of Terror was so cool. So if that's the spring surprise, I'm going to find a way to do that for sure. But I'm super excited. I am particularly excited that Princess, which is Keely's favorite Run Disney event, is the weekend of Mardi Gras. And for those of you who don't watch frequently or, are new following Crescent Lake Club, Keely and I are in New Orleans. I go to Disney almost every Mardi Gras, already booked for Mardi Gras 2022. So I can just double dip that trip and add on Princess half marathon. I'm still not crazy enough to ever do a full marathon. I don't think I ever will. The thought of running for 5+ hours is like death. So I'll stick with my 2.5-hour marathon. I'm not humble bragging like Pete and try to claim to do a sub-2 half marathon.
You know what? I'm looking forward to a race weekend so Ryan can meet Ryan in person. Because also that's the one exciting thing about Run Disney is it does really bring people together. Full disclosure, that's how I met this little goofball down here, except when I met him, he was like a preemie and he also hid from me. So that was really weird.
So
I don't know why he would do that.
My husband today was like, is your phone blowing up with all this Run Disney stuff? Like you've never done Run Disney. I was like, I know. He's like, do people really do it? Like, is it a big thing? And I was like, think about this. My husband's a runner, like a big runner. I was like, you know how crazy obsessive only talk about running people are. You know how crazy obsessive only talk about Disney people are. Now put those two together and that's what Run Disney is. So yes, it's a big deal. And yes, people are super excited. And I know I haven't done it yet, but count me in to the crazy Run Disney people.
Yeah, I am in for Marathon Weekend. In fact, 1 and 2, if you guys used to watch our Origin shows, Crescent Lake Club Live for Sunday Fun Day, you would have met Angela and Leslie. They are our spectacular spectators during Run Disney weekends, and they love going in January so much that even when there wasn't races, being this year, and they already made it for next year based on historic dates, they're always at Disney during Marathon Weekend. So because they will be there, I will be there. I'm only doing one race this year. I had grand plans, but we have to pour one out to, I know where did I put it? My most favorite medal that I ever earned, this guy, Castaway K Challenge, appears to be no longer with us. Teets, am I ever going to get to do this in real life, or am I just going to have this medal that I paid $35 for online?
I mean, I also paid $35 for that online, but I'm hopeful it returns. I think they're kind of uncertain of what cruising is going to look like just yet, so it's probably why it's not back as of now. I'm hopeful in the future, come 2023 or beyond, that we do get that one back. But yeah, that is not happening as of right now. One thing we also did not mention is all the race weekends, well, at least the first 3, we don't know about the springtime surprise, but first 3 weekends will offer a virtual option in addition to the in-person option. So, and then I also have to mention that I have met Ryan in person already. I believe it was 2018, I ran part of the full marathon with him. So.
Fun.
So he's met you. Why does he want other people to have to meet you?
It's a good question.
I'll have to get
Ryan, what are you most excited about?
All of it.
Spending $600.
Yeah, giving my $600+ to Run Disney again, and everything. There's just, I don't know. I've met basically all of you through Run Disney. If I wouldn't be here without that. So I basically my only friends these days I owe to Run Disney. But
I didn't know this was going to turn into a therapy session.
But yeah, so I'm excited to be in person, run and see friends, and just hang out and do all the stuff again. So
to be a person.
So when we
there's your clip, Keely, for your ringtone. I'm excited to be a person again.
I just said that as a bit, but no, that's really going to be it. Every time Teets texts me, it's just going to be him saying, I just wanted to be a person again. He just wants to be a real boy. So the best thing has been, I don't know if you guys follow Teets at all on social media, especially Twitter, but the Run Disney Twitter account has been triggering Teets something real hard for at least the past 3 weeks. And I thought it was about to reach fire levels of him just saying, you just tell me what's going on. Because the repeated train big to dream big, or every race starts with a dream and a mile, and all these things were just upsetting him. And I think we were like, oh, this is going to be so exciting when it's just another year of virtual races, Teets. And he probably would have, if that was the announcement today, he would have walked into traffic. But yesterday, when there was the video, the little tiny video clip that was some poor sports intern is running through puddles, not even wearing really good shoes, and the other intern is shaking a bell to make it sound like people are actually running in the parking lot at Epcot. I feel like he was able to sleep pretty sound last night knowing that this morning's announcement was going to be about Run Disney, come back with real in-person races. Didn't stop Courtney and I and the masses from giving him a rash of grief about it. That Dopey was going to cost $700 and was probably going to go on sale when he's on a flight coming back from Orlando next week. Someone would have to register for him. Though you did have quite a drama here, and you're very dramatic about how you think registration is going to go. So we know that registration for Marathon Weekend opens on July 27th, or is that Wine and Dine?
Yeah. So I believe it's the 13th for Wine and Dine.
Okay.
And then the 20th for Club Run Disney for Marathon Weekend, and then 27th for general registration. That's the only thing. There's no AP or DVC, which a bunch of people have been freaking out about too. No early registration for AP or DVC. Just Club Run Disney gets early registration. And then no travel agent bibs or packages this year either.
Which, as travel agents, we saw some of the uproar about that in the Facebook groups. But to be honest, you didn't get commission on the bibs, and there were hardly any of them to be had. You couldn't really buy them in advance of the day that race registration went on. So it's, if you guys were counting on a travel agent bib, things have changed from 2014, 2015, when not only were the travel agents the way to go, but you could find a real fire sale deal if you were waiting right before race registration closed, in, say, December 19th, I think is when I got my last Dopey registration from a travel agent in 2018. Yeah, those days are long gone. These races sell out. They capacity control them to sell out. Or sometimes I even think they create a market scarcity for them. I think the one thing we're still waiting to hear is charities. Will it just be the title charity that is allowed to do bibs, or are we going to see charities themselves get the bibs like they had before? I think it's probably not going to be. They may have allotment they can pull from, but it's not going to be like in the past days where travel agents could say, and travel agents and charities could say, I want 25 Dopies and 50 marathons and 100 of this and 100 of that. And then they have to guarantee that they're going to sell them, or they have to eat the cost. I think those days are long gone, just because there's just too much demand, and it's a lot easier for Run Disney to manage the field and capacity manage everything if they are in charge of that. What do you guys think? And you in the chat, if you have any thoughts on how registration is going to go for any of these races, tell us.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what they do with charities. I don't know. I mean, we haven't seen anything on that yet. They've been kind of. I mean, we got dates and stuff today, but there's still a lot of details
And prices.
Yeah, we got prices, of course. But there's still a lot of holes missing. We don't know what spectators, characters, what the races themselves will look like. Run Disney put out a statement basically saying things are still very fluid. It's going to really depend on when we get to race day, what things are going to look like. Hopefully, come November, I mean, everything will be pretty much normal as we remembered it, but who knows?
I'm just typing in so you guys can see price ads. I'm trying to remember off the top of my head. I don't remember what the Goofy challenge is, but nobody really does Goofy. I don't know why that's still around.
I think that's probably they're probably just keeping that just for the the perfects. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
For the what?
The perfect people.
So yeah, there are a handful of people who have done every marathon, a handful of people who have done every Goofy, which is the half and the full, and a handful of people who have done every Dopey challenge. And those people will get advanced links to register along with the Club Run Disney people, just because it's kind of the thing, especially for, marathon. It's what did they count the virtual last year towards the years?
They did for the
2018 was the 25th.
Correct. So everybody's banking on 2023 being the 10th Dopey and the 30th marathon. So this year would be 29 for marathon. They did count last year's virtual for Wine and Dine as the 5th anniversary for the challenge. So
I just like to point out that the last two real in-person, well, I don't remember what the one after that was because I didn't do that. Look at these very Saints-inspired black and gold medals, you guys. Especially this one right here. That's the only way. If it's a black and gold medal in 2022, fine. I'll tough it out and run the marathon. So it's going to be pink. It's going to be pink and it's going to make people angry. I already can tell. I think the prices are insanity. $95 for a 5K.
Well, if I remember correctly, I want to say it was like $89 last time for in person for 2020. I want to say it was like $89 for the 5K.
So that's not a terrible increase, then.
No, the Dopey went up $10. It was $590 last time. I want to say the marathon and half were $188. I want to maybe the 10K might have been the biggest jump. I think it was $120, but I could be wrong there.
I think it was $110. If I'm being perfectly honest, it's been so long since I've done a straightaway, just an independent race.
Yeah.
Because I usually do the challenges.
I have a spreadsheet that tracks all the pricing historically that I haven't looked at today.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Of course you do.
Don't do that. That's terrible. I did that for all the races that I did, and I understand why I got yelled at a whole lot for about 3 years about that. So yeah. So my plan, Teets, is obviously, if you guys watch this Instagram live, this won't be a spoiler, but spoiler alert, Teets is going to try and register for Dopey because the boy just can't go run Disney unless it's Dopey.
Go big or go home,
I don't
right?
Yeah. So many people turn out to spectate Teets at these races, and I've never seen Teets spectate a single person except his sisters in the kids' races. Oh, and it was just one sister. It was just Sydney.
It was just Sid, yeah.
So shout out to Sid if you're watching. You're the only person Teets likes and will take time out of his busy schedule to go spectate at a Run Disney race.
I haven't done a Run Disney race weekend that I haven't done all the races. So
you just really have the most FOMO. Like I have pretty bad FOMO, but that's like
let's talk about wake up time and how early Teets gets to the start corrals to sit on the concrete by himself and not talk to anybody? You want to just go ahead and out yourself on this one, or should I tell everyone?
I mean, I'm on the first bus every race except for Wine and Dine 2019 10K. That one was very stressful. Was not on the first bus for that one.
I forgot about that. Because I only did the half. I only did the half for that one, and one of the people who's doing the or two of the people who were doing the challenge were staying in the room with me, and my phone just starts blowing up. Like, there's two other people that I stay with that wake up at 4 a.m. I go to bed at 4. I don't wake up at 4. So why they thought I would be awake to take these text messages at 4:30 and 4:45? Teet slept through his alarm, and it was
Actually,
like 5:15, and no one had seen him yet.
No, I didn't. I woke up, and then I'm like, I got time, so I kept laying in bed. I'm thinking I'll be fine, and I fell back asleep with my phone next to me because I was on my phone. So I fell back to sleep, and then all of a sudden, finally, what woke me up was the hotel room phone, because I think Whitty or somebody called the hotel room, and then they called, so it rang, and that's what woke me up finally. And I'm like, it was like 4:45, and I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah, and so for all you guys that are watching us are probably Disney fans, so you have to know already how hard it is to get an actual person at the front desk of your resort that you're staying at. When you call the front desk, it usually goes to a call center. So the fact that they were able to get to a person at the front desk that could direct them their call to Teets' room to wake him up was impressive. But yes, Teets almost slept through the 10K of his first non-dopey race weekend challenge, which was Wine and Dine, the 2-course challenge. And part of me was happy that he made it. I want to know what the rest of our weekend would have been ruined. Like, no one would want to be around you all weekend if you'd missed that 10K and you'd missed out on the challenge medal.
Yeah, that would have been a rough weekend.
So Teets learned lesson, and now he wakes up at 3 and is the first person on the very first bus and the first person through back check. And he sits for 3 hours by himself on the concrete waiting for the race to start. He doesn't go dance. He doesn't go wait in line to meet characters.
I have done the characters before, but I don't do so much of that anymore.
So that was the point of doing these races if you don't do the characters.
Just before the race, I'll do them. I of course do them during the race. And then
what you gotta do sitting in that parking lot that you can't go see Mickey Mouse?
The lines have been getting too long before the races.
You're there at 3:30. You know what that is?
Long.
That's a lot of listening to Clarissa when you don't have to, or Clarissa. Forgot about that. Maybe I'm out on Marathon Weekend. Maybe I'll just save that 195 for something else.
Yeah.
I'm not even saying. That was so in 2020, I didn't even run, but we stayed at Beach Club, and I still woke up at 3:30 angry, wanting to throw something because we could hear Carissa at Beach Club. Terrible. Oh, no, I'm still going to hear her at Old Key West.
Because I'm sure of all the announcers, she'll be the one to be back, too. So, because she's a Galloway.
I'm not going to say what just went through my head. Not going to say it. So that's our Run Disney talk. I'm going to sign up for the half. I'm hoping Courtney will also be doing the half with me at Marathon Weekend because it will be fun to have someone to train with here in New Orleans. Yeah. I will not be doing Princess. That is the last weekend of Mardi Gras here in New Orleans with all the parades that are right by my house. No.
We'll see about that. We'll see about that. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Sarah and I have some work to do.
You got a lot of work to do.
There's gonna have to be some well, what if Josh dresses up and runs? Like, no, no, you're gonna have to finagle a way for me to win the COVID lottery, and then some. I'm not missing the last weekend of Mardi Gras to go run a race that I hate.
Anyway,
Teets will go. Teets will wear a blonde wig and pretend to be me. I'll coach him on how to complain the entire time, and it'll be perfect. So that's our plan. So Run Disney, it's back. More details to come. We'll see how registration goes. I don't think it's going to be as dramatic as Teats makes it out to be, but we shall see. Up next, all right, we be getting more and more food news, but we got quite a bit today this week, including some favorites returning, and a signature has undergone a reimagination. Courtney, why don't you tell us about that?
Yeah, so I will be waking up before 6 o'clock tomorrow to make dining reservation for later in July for Citrico's, which is reopening later in July with a new theming, themed after Mary Poppins Returns. I am super excited about this. I've not been to Citrico's ever. So I'm excited to try a new restaurant, check it off the list, but also I love Mary Poppins. She's practically perfect in every way. I think this theming fits perfectly in the Grand Floridian, and I'm very excited to see what they do to Citrico's, and also I'm very excited to eat there. So that's really fun. That will be reopening the 15th?
Mm-hmm.
15th? Yep. Yes. Citrico's will open on July 15th. Bookings available starting tomorrow. So that's really exciting. Give me all the Mary Poppins. All the Mary Poppins. I have multiple pictures with Mary Poppins throughout the years. She's my favorite. I can't say it enough. Super excited.
Well, and I love that they're going with the Mary Poppins Returns too. So it's I think the furnishings that we've seen sneak peeks of look absolutely beautiful. It's stuff that I'd like to have in my house. And you know what? It's finally time that Grammy's house got updated. I've loved what they've done with Enchanted Rose. I am really looking forward to seeing the new Citrico's. And I hope that what we're seeing from these Mary Poppins rooms kind of transfer over to what they're going to do with the guest rooms. You know, I have not been shy about my dislike for the theming in the guest rooms at Grand Floridian. And speaking of theming of rooms, we've seen, we need to talk about those fabulous Incredibles rooms at the Contemporary as well. But we'll get back to that. We have some more food news. That's not just Citrico's. What else are we hearing good things about?
Trails End will reopen July 17th. Family style skillets. Trails End is at Disney's Fort Wilderness Resort. So that's really exciting. They'll be serving breakfast and dinner, skillets, family style, chicken, corn, breads, all kinds of carbs and breads, salads for breakfast. You have your traditional Mickey waffles, eggs, bacon, pastry basket, fruit salad, kind of the traditional, nothing too exciting, nothing too out of the ordinary or, unexpected coming out of Trails End, but exciting that that's reopening.
You're not going to mention the big controversy?
Oh, I was going to say, but nothing about a cult favorite reopening at Disney comes without drama from the people who brought you the Ohana noodle disaster.
Right. Yeah, I wasn't going to mention it because it's going to be back on the menu tomorrow because enough people will complain about it. You don't think?
Well, what's weird is they're selling the fried chicken, same fried chicken they would sell at Trails End is for sale at the to-go window, but they won't put it on the menu. Like, I don't get that.
Because they want some media and they want some free press of people complaining. Just like with Ohana, when they announced Ohana's reopening, they didn't have the noodles on the menu. And then in their press release about the dining plan, we'll talk about that in a little bit, they specifically mentioned the Ohana noodles. So I think we'll get some specific mention of this fried chicken when they announce dining detail plans or something else. So yes, the controversy of no fried chicken on the menu.
I don't know who wrote that really excellent blog item on our website, crescentlakeclub.com. If you guys haven't read it before, I'll put the banner down there, crescentlakeclub.com. Check us out. We've got a really great blog, but I don't know who wrote that article today because it wasn't Teets, he was working. But they did mention that, Even Disney made fun of the Ohana noodles. They're back, even with the noodles, but no mention of the Trails and fried chicken. And I thought that was a very, very insightful comment. So whoever wrote that blog item, check that out and more on our website, crescentlakeclub.com. It's pretty great.
Yeah. So I think we'll get fried chicken when we get dining plan details. Heard it here first.
You think so?
No, I don't. I have no idea. I really don't care either.
I don't have a dog in that hunt, so to speak.
I care much less about the Trails End fried chicken than I do about the noodles. Very excited for the noodles to be coming back. I'm not going over to Fort Wilderness just for fried chicken. If they announce Hoopty Doo to come back, I will go over to Fort Wilderness for Hoopty Doo. But I have no reservation in the future for, yes, I will go to Hoopty Doo. I have no reservation in the future for Fort Wilderness. And I'm not going over there.
What if I just get a washboard and a box of Popeyes and come over and reenact Hoopty Doo in your backyard?
It's not the same. It's not the same. I got called up on stage, or I was a participant in Hoopty Doo in my childhood. So it's got a special place in my heart. And it's like, it was the oldest, longest running stage show. R.I.P. COVID. Like all those longest running things are now no longer, right? Because of COVID.
I mean, we still have things like the Contemporary Resort, which is getting a fantastic modern and IP-inspired makeover. And I don't know that I've ever seen social media so polarized over these rooms that I think are freaking amazing. So yeah, the Contemporary, all the rumors were true. The tower is turning into rooms themed after The Incredibles. They also feature really cool touches and paying homage to the monorail, like the oversized mirror in the bathroom. I think it's great. It's basically they took out and replaced all the furniture. It's really modern, and most of the IP touches are in soft textiles. The curtain looks really great. When you close it over your window that faces out to the park or to the lake, you see the Flying Incredibles on it. You see homage to Edna Mode. I absolutely love when you open the closet doors, you see the Incredible suits hanging up in the back behind where the hangers are. Same with if you open up the door, you see a book or a comic book and a remote. I absolutely love the Contemporary rooms and the renovation that they are doing there, the refurbishment, which is even more exciting about something we're going to talk. I'm more excited about something we're going to talk about in the next segment. But what do you guys think of these incredible rooms?
I think when you walk into those rooms, you're going to be like, oh, this is a really nice, huge deluxe room because it's at the Contemporary, and those rooms are some of, if not the biggest on property. Like, I think when you see the collage of pictures with the inside of the closet and the inside of the drawer, you're like, oh God, this feels like a cheap, top century room or a really over the top art of animation, like IP in your face. But like, you're not going to walk in and the drawers open or walk in and the closet's open. You're going to walk in and be like, oh, those are some cool subtle touches. Like when you walk in the Saratoga and you're like, oh, that's a cool horse. Oh, wait, that's a Disney horse. Like, I think you're going to realize the IP, you're going to discover the bits and pieces of it, and it's not going to be as like in your face as it looks in the photo collage. Does that make sense?
I see why they did it, and because they're obviously very proud of some of the unique touches, like inside the armoire or wardrobe, right, and inside the drawers that they did. And I almost wish they kept those as a secret for when people got to experience that little kind of surprise. I think it probably would have gone over better. But for me, I love a modern room. I absolutely love it. I love this. It's fantastic. Teets loves IP, so I'm sure he loves this. Right, Teets?
I don't love it, but I don't hate it. I like a lot. Some of the things they did, like the monorail mirror might be my favorite thing in this room, in the bathroom. I think that's really cool. And then the framing, the new framing of the balcony, the doors for the balcony, is really nice. I'm not so fond of the thing. I know you don't see them right away, but I'm not so fond of like the things in the closet and the drawers. I think that's a little bit too much. But overall, I don't hate it, but it's not my favorite thing. I think the Moana rooms are better in terms of less in your face type IP.
Courtney, you got, because I'm not gonna. Everyone knows my opinion on the poly, so.
Oh, yeah, I don't have as much poly hate as you do.
It's just a motel. I don't know, y'all. Like, you can't. I'm spending $700 and it rains every day in Florida. I'm gonna get wet walking from my room to the Grand Ceremonial House at some point.
I don't know. Keith and I can agree to disagree on contemporary, and I like the poly room, but I don't know. I generally like things. I don't, it's going to take quite a bit for me to be like, ooh, I don't like that. I just like that they're changing and they're updating, and it's fun stuff and it's new and it gives us stuff to talk about, but also things to look forward to and things to spend our money on, because we can be like, oh, I need to go stay in this room. Oh.
Which,
we did
about 3 hours ago today. So here's the biggest thing, and I think it's going to be the most controversial thing, and it's something that's going to keep coming up, because we talked about this show earlier today, and we were like, yeah, this is easily going to be an hour. We've got this. I'm like, they're going to drop something else on us right before we start getting ready, and sure enough, they did. But I wasn't expecting it to be this. So we got a great little email from our friends at the Walt Disney World Resort, and they're bringing back some of the most asked for perks of staying on property. One of the first things that was buried down at the bottom is that Disney dining plan is coming back. And there's no other details other than, yes, it is coming back. We know you want it. We're trying to figure it out. We'll announce that at a future date. Something that they did say is coming back and gave us the future date is early entry for those staying at resorts. And that will start on October 1st. This is not just an arbitrary day. This is the grand opening ceremony of the 50th anniversary celebration. So that's great. If you're staying on property, the really exciting perk of being able to get into the park an hour or two early before everyone else has been restored. Everyone loved early morning hours or early morning magic hours, but they also loved another on-site perk, which used to be extra evening hours, which is when they would kind of filter the park out, and only on-property resort guests would get to stay for an extra hour or two as part of their park ticket and resort stay experience. That's coming back, but it is only for a select class of resort guests. This is only available to those staying at a deluxe or a deluxe villa. So yes, that includes any of the DVC resorts, and that means Contemporary, Poly, Grand Floridian, Animal Kingdom Lodge, Boardwalk, Beach Club, Yacht Club, Old Key West, Saratoga Springs. Only guests staying at those resorts will have access to these after hours, extra
Did you say Wilderness
hours,
Lodge?
and all of that. Wilderness Lodge. Yeah. I always forget about Wilderness Lodge because it's there, but not really there.
Right.
So back there. So
probably the best price point generally.
Notice how that wasn't available when I immediately started looking for a room for October 1st. So full disclosure, the Crescent Lake Club will be staying at Contemporary for one night on October 1st. And for 5 people, we've got a room with 2 queen beds and the pull-out sofa. So it'll be fine for one night. It's not cheap.
Keith and I aren't sleeping anyway.
That's true. You guys are getting content all the time. It's not cheap. All of these rooms are at rack. So we are staying in a garden wing, garden view room. Like I said, it's 2 queen beds. So it's not going to be one of the incredible rooms. It's an old room. Probably going to look like Grammy's room. Let's be honest. For 5 people for one night, it's $877.50. So this has given this social media and Disney fans a very, very, very it's almost like a Civil War opinion. There are people that say, oh, okay, this is great. And there are people like, what? No, this is so stupid. This is so stupid. Why are you separating everyone? So I want to kind of go on the horn, and I'm going to start with Courtney first and get your thoughts on this new change and kind of just allowing deluxe and villa/TVC people the extra after park hours experience.
So I'll just say straight up, I'm all for it. If you've listened to any show, especially shows prior to Easter, spring break, I have been ranting and raving about how there are no perks to staying on property anymore. Again, some of that's coming back. We're seeing some of that resurface. But especially in the spring of this year, right now, currently, there's no real perk to staying on property. You know, they announced Magical Express is going away. We don't have Disney Dining Plan. There's no magic hours. We don't have fast passes to be able to do the early pass window. There's not even the booking for dining. You know, you can do your whole length of stay instead of just 60 days out. It's really not that big of a perk. So I am all for bringing back any perks for staying on property. As a huge Disney fan, I know the perk of just having the Disney magic of staying on property. Something that's kind of intangible. You can't really put it into words. It's just that feeling of staying on an on-property resort. So I'm all for bringing back any perk. But I also kind of thought that we would see something tiered coming back. So, you know, the next question kind of that they haven't addressed, the elephant in the room, is fast passes. Keely and I are on the same boat. I think it's going to be something tiered. Maybe deluxe gets some and moderate gets none, whatever. It's not going to surprise me if any of these perks that are coming back become more and more tiered, like the resort property. Yeah, because you're paying $800 a night. You're paying $600 a night, $1,000 a night. So, I do think that people staying deluxe should get something a little bit more than the people paying $200 and $300. And yes, I know that's still a lot of money, but I'd rather see that than them do nothing. Because in April they were doing nothing you had nothing extra for your $800.
Yeah. So, and Kimberly brings up a great point. And this is something that I would never utilize them, even when I did stay on property, because I am not a morning person. But for morning people, which it seems like that's something that's intrinsic and is like in the lifeblood of a Disney fan, is they are a morning person. So those extra early admission hours, you really do get a jump on the crowds. So for me, I'm excited to stay at a deluxe to get the late night hours, but I can see how it's kind of not that big of a deal to some people. You're still getting, if you're even staying on property, you're just getting the one thing back, which is to beat annual pass holders and Florida residents not staying on property to the park that day. I almost wish they would, with this, that they would also do away with you can get Rise of the Resistance anywhere in the globe at 7 or 8 a.m. when they do that first drop, and make it back to, on property. Really wish that they would do that. And I know it'll frustrate annual pass holders and Florida residents, but like I say, every single time we do one of these streams and they complain a lot, I'm like, you guys basically had the parks to yourselves for 3 or 4 months.
Yeah.
I don't have a lot of sympathy for you.
As a travel agent, I can log on and get a client's Rise of the Resistance pass in New Orleans while they're in Florida, and I can do that, and I've done that for people. But I shouldn't be able to. I'm not breaking any rules. Not really breaking any rules by doing it, but I should not be able to do that. If my client is paying $500 a night to stay on property, they should get some kind of perk to be able to book Rise of the Resistance.
Yeah. Teets, what are your takes? What are your Teets' takes on this kind of case system that is going on with extra hours at Disney?
Well, I definitely don't mind it. I think that this is like the perfect way to give extra perks to deluxe or whatever level we're looking at here. I think, like we mentioned, a lot of the Disney fans are early morning risers, so I think you're going to see most people take advantage of those early morning hours versus the night hours. I'm interested to see how like what the hours are. If is it just going to be an hour? Or are we looking at, because sometimes you saw extra magic hours would be 2 hours, or so I'm interested to see how late they go with this.
So the other interesting thing, when I started reading it's not fine print because it was just basically a press release, but it did say, so for morning hours, it's every resort at every park. For late night hours or after hours, it is only specific parks, and that had to be the park that you had a reservation for that day. So for you to get to go back in. So for me, I know we're all super optimistic about our stay there. A lot can change. We're mostly in it to get in early and be really close to Magic Kingdom for the actual 50th. If I were a betting lady, if I were a gambler, you're right, I am. Do I think that first night's after hours are going to be Magic Kingdom or Epcot with Ratatouille opening that day? No. It's going to be Animal Kingdom. Just save this. So when it happens, but I also like
we'll come back to this. We will address this when it's announced. Meanwhile, Pete and I will be in Magic Kingdom from 6 a.m. till midnight.
So we drag. Where's my picture? Where's my picture of the two of y'all asleep in the car on Spaceship Earth when we got shut down and evac? We had to shake to wake both of y'all up. It was so great. I was sitting right behind them, and you just see Teet's head fall to this side, and you just see Courtney in her ears just kind of lean over, and they're just both like just Susan, so peaceful, so comfy and warm, while Rome was burning all around us. They're just sleeping through it. So yeah, don't ever trust Teets or Courtney to save you in a disaster, like when Rome burns. So I am feeling, maybe I'm cocky. Maybe I'm just being cocky, because what did I say to you guys just a couple hours before we got this email from Disney?
We said a lot.
So I've been checking multiple times a day to try and find us a place to stay at a deluxe, pretty much either Beach Club, because we're the Crescent Lake Club, or Boardwalk, or Contemporary. I'm not staying at Polly, and I'm not staying at Grammy's house. I'll stay at Wilderness Lodge, or I'll stay at Contemporary. Just trying to find a decent rate that's split between the 5 of us, or a travel agent rate. And last night, I actually found a 5th sleeper at Caribbean Beach. Well, full disclosure, I put that Teets was a 17-year-old child, so it would allow me to attempt to book it. I figured we'd figure it all out. It'd all come out in the wash when we got there anyway. He can fit in that child-sized bed. He can fit in that fold-down bed. I even watched a YouTube video just to make sure that it wasn't like a pull-out chair.
Oh, boy.
It was one of the fold-down beds. Anyway, look, guys, I have a lot of time to do research at 2:30 in the morning. So, but I couldn't get to book. And then Courtney couldn't get a reservation to pull up. And then we get the alert that all of Disney dining and exclusives bookings or enhancement bookings was down. And then I go to look, and I'm like, y'all, I looked all night last night, and I looked all morning this morning. And now there is availability at all its rack prices, mind you. So that means everything starts with a 6 or above at deluxes, but there is availability now at all of them for the 30th, the 1st, the 2nd, any combination of the 3. And I'm like, they're either screwing with capacity or something is about to happen. And what happened? Called it. They sent out this email.
Here's some other back channel info to tell us that they have for sure increased capacity. And I haven't told either of them this, so this is breaking news. I've talked before about how my mother-in-law has tons of timeshare points through Wyndham, and she can exchange it through RCI. And that's how we've stayed at Saratoga Springs multiple times. I just checked her account because I check what's available at Saratoga Springs once a day. And I could pretty much go any week in August, which previously there was literally no availability. But I could stay at Saratoga for all of August if I wanted, some availability in September, and like random days. So that like the availability that goes into RCI is overflow of what they think of what they have open, that they're not going to book for cash, that they're not going to book through DVC, that they give out to other vacation clubs, timeshare rentals, et cetera, et cetera. So they've opened stuff up because they're saying if there's availability on RCI, then Disney is saying we're not getting people to pay cash and DVC isn't renting this. So we'll then open it up for people to exchange their other points from other travel timeshare vendors to come stay here. And there's quite a bit of availability. So I'm going to be staying at Saratoga at some point pretty soon, I feel like. So they've opened up availability like quite a bit.
Interesting. That's why I put on the breaking news banner down at the bottom. Breaking news.
Breaking news.
So, and we've had conversations just about the inner workings about how Disney, so we talked about restaurants reopening, but we're also seeing a lot of really, really popular quick services are coming back online. And we're seeing resorts get announcements that they're opening up. And if anyone follows the Orlando Sentinel or any kind of news entity, they would be telling you that things, they're offering bonuses for very specific positions. And it's usually like bus drivers, housekeeping, lifeguards, that's like $1,000 signing bonus. And with the college program coming back online, I think most of those college program in this early semester, Marcus, you missed the fried chicken talk, buddy. You missed it. You missed it. I was waiting for you. I had it all teed up. Just waiting. I vamped for a good while waiting for you. You missed the fried chicken. You know what? I said I'm going to take a box of Popeyes over to Courtney's backyard and recreate Hoop-Dee-Doo review. That was the end of the fried chicken talk. But I think so most of these college program kids are going straight into quick service food and beverage, lifeguarding, and mousekeeping to get these resorts back to where they need to be, which leads me to believe we are about to see another and probably the final and most anticipated resort announcement within the next couple of weeks for an opening within the next 6 to 8 weeks, just in time for the 50th. And raise your hand if this would make you happy.
I already know it is.
Yeah, I think with this going on, so we're just seeing the early advantage college programs showing up, and we have the rest of them will be there, teach within the next 2 to 3 weeks for traditions and training.
Yep.
So the actual fall session, so this is either summer advantage or fall advantage, they show up earlier and they stay longer. And a lot of them have already been in these positions before. We're about to see new kids show up, get trained up real quick. And I think they want everything running on all cylinders. So I'm calling it. I'm putting in the calling my shot like Babe Ruth. We're going to get Port Orleans open by October 1st. I think it's going to be within the next 6 to 8 weeks. And I think we have an announcement before the end of July. What do you guys think? Marcus, what do you think about that one, big guy?
I will be booking it for September 30th, the night of September 30th, as soon as I can. As soon as I can, so that Teeth and I can fly in together, take Magical Express together, go, again, to whatever resort is open latest, whatever park is open latest.
If anyone wants to stock Teeth, here's his flight information.
And or Disney Springs. go straight to Port Orleans. Have
look at that
Bell
price
service.
right there. 70.
$79.
Teesa's life is
Bell
worth
services
$79
will take
to
our
me.
stuff from Port Orleans to Contemporary. Well, Magic Kingdom, Epcot all day long.
That should be really exciting. That should be really exciting when they have to drag along the 6 bags Angela and Leslie and I are taking on the Mardi Gras.
Yeah. Whatever. Tip them nice, Keely. Tip them nice.
That's true. It's all about it's their celebration too. So there's that. I guess we'll bring it back just a little bit. I have no issue with the deluxe thing, obviously, because I jumped on it. I think it's an actual intrinsic value there. I think that the deluxe rooms at Disney are incredibly overpriced when you can get Four Seasons, the Ritz, or the Waldorf for half of that, and it's nicer, and their amenities are a little bit better, and you can get points, like loyalty points and stuff like that. So I want to see something like that. And I would just like to offer people that are like, oh my gosh, this is leading us down the path of something ridiculous, to look down I-4 to our friends Universal Orlando. And they have done something even more extreme for on-site guests like this for years, and nobody has really raised a stink about it. So at Universal, if you stay on-site, every hotel and every annual pass holder gets early entry. But if you stay at one of their 3 ridiculously charged deluxe hotels, I think they call them premier hotels, you also get Express Pass included, which is basically the paid version of Fast Pass. If you don't stay in one of those, you're welcome to buy 2 versions of it. One is Express Pass one time for every ride that has it, or another is unlimited. And they range anywhere per person on a sliding scale from like $79 to $300 per person for that day. And that's just always how it's been. And the Florida resident rates and annual pass holder rates at these hotels right now are still in the $400 or $500 a night range. But there's only 2 parks in Volcano Bay. It's 6 to 1.5 dozen, but this shouldn't be surprising. And I think that people need to kind of buckle in and prepare for this to become a more permanent thing with a few more permanent fixtures to it. My biggest issue, and I think it's something that Jerry from the chat and I talked about earlier, it stinks when you're having to pay what you have to pay, which is right now over $300. Even Whitty sent us a text earlier about that deal at Pop Century where it's $149 plus tax per night. When you're having to pay that kind of rate for essentially a Best Western and transportation, like basically transportation is all you get. The on-site perks need to come up, and especially if they're going to keep charging at these deluxe rates. And giving someone, if you get a couple extra hours at night for staying at this particular resort, if that takes you away from staying at the Four Seasons or the Waldorf or the Ritz, that's what Disney is going for, because they need to fill the hotels, the deluxes, and the villas way more than they need to fill Pop and Art of Animation. I'm sure that's going to put me in the hater category with you guys again. It's fine. It's fine. I'll live with it. But what other 50th anniversary news? Oh, we're going to get to see the characters at all of the hotels in their
iridescent costumes.
In their iridescent costumes. So we can see that. Tease, what else we got 50th anniversary related to talk about?
I don't know. It's been, I don't even remember what has happened this week. There's been so much. Because we obviously have the new fireworks and stuff coming. There's not.
You can get your corn dog nuggets starting today.
That's what I'm gonna be doing tomorrow. I will be mobile ordering some corn dog nuggets while
they're chicken. They're chicken and turkey.
My spot for Happily Ever After on debut night tomorrow.
No, I showed you where you need to go stand. It's at that little fake street, the fake crossway by the lamppost. Stand back there so you get the full view. That's where the internet is the best.
I'm still gonna get my corn dog there. So
just get macaroni and cheese fries instead.
maybe both.
Yeah.
It's a good thing you're staying by yourself at Endless Sweets. You know what? If we've got 11:30 is when the cast preview of Epcot Forever occurs tonight. I watched we got to see everyone that is a working cast member at Magic Kingdom last night got to take a guest, and they got these really cool tickets, and it was called Happily Ever After Homecoming. And they really did a great job of welcoming all the cast back and thanking them for putting up with everything that they had during the pandemic to get to this point where parks are normal. Like, let's just go ahead and say it. The parks are normal. Everything is back to normal, except Fast Pass. But with the fireworks and everything, they even had Jordan Fisher come out and speech. You guys don't know, Jordan Fisher won Dancing with the Stars, but he was also the lead singer of Happily Ever After, this song for the fireworks. And he came out and gave a really great, inspiring speech. I think he's on Disney Fairy Tale Weddings. He talked about how he got married inside the castle, and his first dance with his wife was like right down where a guy in a tie-dye shirt was on his phone texting right then. He's like, oh yeah, I had my first dance right there. Or this guy right here is texting. And so it was, for everyone that makes the magic at Magic Kingdom, you could tell that it was just kind of the moment they've all been waiting for. So I'm super excited for all the working cast members at Epcot to have the same kind of experience tonight with Epcot Forever. I know I will be watching any live stream I can find. That's at 11:30 Eastern, 10:30 our time. So it's exciting. Now, you cowards, just give me Fantasmic. Like, what even is this? Give me Fantasmic. Right, Teets?
I don't disagree. We'll see when it comes, though. I've heard some things that it may be August, September timeframe, but we'll see.
Because you told me last week it was gonna be like March.
It's not coming back till 2022.
Well, that was what people inferred based on some permits, but permits don't always. There were Pandora permits that went like a year after the land opened, so permits don't always give the full picture.
Well, here's my hot tip and my insider information. It's not as cool as what Teets gets, and it's not as actually useful as Courtney's insider information. I just know that staging at Hollywood Studios got called back, and it was for general staging and not equity staging, which that can mean one of two things. I'm getting my hopes up for Fantasmic, and they're just going to give me Disney Junior Dance Party, or we're getting Fantasmic back. So it typically, for a show that they have to cast and train, you're looking at 3 to 6 weeks for something like Fantasmic. It just depends how many primary roles that
to stand on a boat and wave.
No, it's travel loop.
You have Belle and Beast dancing, and yeah.
Just don't fall through like Dopey did that one time.
Remember that?
No, every character, unless the only time I've seen a parade have a segment that was not travel looped, which means the characters were not taught any kind of thing to do with their hands. It was cavalcade at the end of Fantasmic, or end of Spectro, and that is because you could never guarantee that you'd have enough people the right different heights to fill out the characters that they needed. So they just did whatever characters they could get. And so you could pull from other parks and other areas, like sets that weren't parade, and just slap them in the costume and have them act like the character, but not have to do a travel loop. So when you guys watch, even the cavalcades we see now in the parks have a very, like, they're doing things with their hands and they're moving in synchronized time. It is all still choreographed to be consistent. Right. And they're allowed to like have their kind of pantomime and independent activity and animation moment. But to keep them on time and keep everyone moving the way the show should be moving and the parade is moving, they have an 8 or a 16 count travel loop. Just watch hands.
Just like when you march in a parade, you just do the same 32 counts over and over and over and over and over and over and over again.
Yep. I want Fantasmic. Oh my gosh. So the really great thing is there's going to be 5 of us there for the 50th. Because there's a chance that all 5 of us have to be at different places at the same time. And
we're giving up
so
a huge bedroom condo for a double queen from a contemporary, which is
let's re-rack a 2-bedroom condo with 2 bathrooms and a kitchen
and a full kitchen.
And a full kitchen that's not really costing us anything. For $177.50 per person for just one night at the Contemporary. Are we really?
Yes.
Don't cancel that Wyndham. Don't cancel that Wyndham room until we see how this hours thing shakes out.
This kid is paying $600 to run 50 miles, so I'll pay the $200 to stay at Contemporary. We all have our own crazy, okay?
The best was, so, I knew that they were all in. I was going to play middle of the road until I heard. If I called Leslie, she'd be like, who do I PayPal? Yes. Yes, we're staying at the Contemporary. Yes. Why is this even a question? Yes. So she would have been there. I knew if we were voting block, it was going to get done. I call Angela. And she's like, what? First, I finally got her. She's got me on this app called Signal. So if you guys need to get her signed up for Signal, that's the only way she answers. I'm sure I'm on some watch list. But so I finally get her and she's like, what? I'm like, did you see the news? I'm like, no. And she's like, no, because yesterday she and I had the conversation. I thought when they announced that there was going to be like extra after hours for the 50th, I was for sure it was going to be paid like they're doing with Boo Bash and stuff like that. So she and I were just kind of speculating like how much would it be and how much would you be willing to pay if October 1st after hours at night, you got like 2 or 3 extra hours in the park, either at Epcot or Magic Kingdom. What would you pay? And I think we settled on like for October 1st, I think $199 would have been fair. What do you guys think?
Yeah.
And she's like, yeah, she goes, I would pay that at Magic Kingdom because it's the 50th. I'd expect it to be heavily themed though, or at least free snacks, but I'm still in Magic Kingdom. And so when I told her, she's like, what? Okay. Stay down a little bit. Hear your dog crying in the back, so I know you're not that angry. And I'm like, so we need to talk about this after hours thing again. She goes, oh God, how much is it? I'm like, well, no, it's not a price. It's you have to stay at a deluxe resort. She's like, listen, we're staying at the Contemporary. You've never stayed there before. And she goes, hold on, I'm on the fence. Don't tell me the amount. I'm on the fence anyway. Like, okay. She goes, who do I have to Venmo this $300 to? I'm like, it's not $300. It's $177.50. She goes, is that for one night or 2 nights? I'm like, it's just one night. She goes, who do I send the $350 to? I'm like, oh, we can't get it for 2 nights. We can only get it for the one night.
It's not even available.
It's not even available on the 30th. And she came around and she had a really great point. She's like, we're already going there to go all in for anniversary and do all this stuff. She's like, Walt would want me to have those extra hours in the morning, and he's going to give it to me at night too. I'm like, it's a very interesting way to put it, but okay. So she seems optimistic that the after hours portion will be at Magic Kingdom, which is a park that we have a park reservation for on October 1st.
They would piss off so many people if they did the extra hours at Animal Kingdom or Hollywood that day. They already pissed off 2/3 of the people who are staying at moderates and values. They would piss off 85-90% of the people who are paying $800 a night to stay at a deluxe resort for the 50th if they did the extra hours.
I just have a lot of, so, we were lucky, thanks to Marcus, to get Teets his October 1st and October 2nd park reservations when we were on stream.
Mm-hmm.
We were lucky enough to get that. I've had a lot of questions about how October 1st park reservations are going to work out. So when I booked, I put the booking in for Contemporary. I also grabbed Beach Club just in case we wanted to go down a price point or stay true to our roots, which is Crescent Lake. But it's like slams you over the head multiple times. You have to have a park reservation. Just staying here doesn't guarantee you anything. You have to have a park reservation, which you guys may have, it may be something you guys are used to.
Yeah. You just click, I know.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It says like, stop asking. It asks you that point,
Yeah.
stop asking. And I know we kind of played with the system a little bit to get our park passes for our park reservations, the bulk of us, for October, when we were basically full of reservations from February and April. And so we knew how to build the system a little bit on that one. But I'm wondering how all of these vloggers who go every day, are they losing out on a park day just to keep this October 1st at Magic Kingdom or at Epcot? And what are they doing? Are they just sitting back expecting full capacity? What do you think, Teets?
I know from some some do have October 1st at least, so they're only playing with 2 days as they go through. But yeah, I think some are also then betting on things opening up again, which we've seen a couple times now. They've opened up again and again.
Because what's the breakdown? You can have length of stay if you have a resort reservation. And then other than that, if you're an annual pass holder, you have length of stay. And then annual pass, you can have up to what, 4?
3.
3? Okay. I guess that's why we've been seeing a lot of SeaWorld on the vlogs lately. But, I think Courtney makes a really good point. It would be, you can't piss off all of these people and get them to buy in at these insane rates of $700, $800, $1,000 a night to stay at these deluxes for the 30th, the 1st, the 2nd, and then be like, oh, only Animal Kingdom that closes at 7 that day gets to have 3 extra magic hours.
Right.
For you peons that just booked now and it's the only park that you can get a park reservation for was Animal Kingdom. We're going to throw you a bone when nothing is happening there. There's no shows at night. Enjoy.
You get the kite show though during the day. That's it.
Yeah, that's not going to help you even in magic hours.
Kite tail.
You're not going to. There's no animals are going to be out on the safari. Enjoy riding dinosaur a whole bunch, I guess. Maybe someone really loves It's Tough to Be a Bug. I don't know that I'd see that when it's dark outside. That thing is already terrible to begin with. So yeah, I think Courtney's right. I'm going to go with Courtney and Angela's optimism. Things are going to break our way. Otherwise, we'll be canceling an $877 one-night reservation and going back to our big 2-bedroom condo at Bonnet Creek and just figuring out how to make it work. I feel like I ask this every week. Is there an announcement about the 50th that you are really excited about, or what is your overall excitement level for the 50th?
Pretty pumped. Pretty pumped.
We keep getting more details. I think at first, a lot of people, including myself, were very skeptical about what it would look like given the situation, and that things would be toned down because of COVID and Disney being their money-saving selves that they normally are. So as we keep getting more and more, I'm getting more excited that this actually will be something worth going to.
It will be a celebration.
Yeah.
Agreed. And if you're like, these people are crazy, they're paying $800 a night to stay at the Contemporary, there's no way. But I do want to see the 50th. Don't worry, though, because remember, they are doing it for 18 months. So It is going all the way until 2023. So you do have... Right?
It's not glowing away anytime soon. It's going to be with us. Huh? I am. That's a call back to Main Street Electrical Parade is glowing away, but then it just, like jury duty, just keeps coming back.
Yeah.
I'm getting hyped for the fact that I really feel like you guys are underestimating how much time I'm going to be willing to spend at Magic Kingdom.
Yeah.
And maybe it's just this fun and flouncy that's making me say this. So good job. I see what you did, Courtney, and good job, Cody, on this one.
Thanks, Cody. Cheers.
But yeah, no, I have my plan, and I'm willing to take one for the team and miss out on some things because I do want to go see Kite Tails. I think it'll be cool, and it'll be a nice break from the madness at Magic Kingdom. Yeah. I can go and I can go ride Everest. I can grab whatever the Himalayan ghost drink is from right there at the bar right by Everest, and I can go sit down and sweat my ass off in a amphitheater for a day show that has no shade. It's gonna be amazing. I should bring an umbrella. Where's my packing list? Maybe I'll get a parasol at Magic Kingdom and just take it over to Animal Kingdom. No, I'm excited to see all of it.
And on top of that,
except country bears, because how did I talk myself into doing all of these? Marcus was here.
But on top of all the excitement of the 50th, we have collectively, 50 days in Disney World between the three of us in the month of July, something.
Oh my goodness. July and August, yeah.
I'm guesstimating here, but you can be sure we'll have lots of content over the next month or two. Ryan will be in the Motherland starting tomorrow. Keely will be there in the next week or so, right?
Week to 2 weeks, maybe.
Week or 2 weeks. I'll be there
everything
the end of July. 2 weeks at the end of July.
I said 17th was my drop down to be there, which means it'll probably get extended. My stay will get extended into August, which is totally fine because that means I get 2 annual pass holder buttons at Universal. Yay.
So we will be looking at Disney, Universal. Keely and I will also be visiting Legoland and SeaWorld.
Sesame Street, I'm going to meet Big Bird. So excited.
I'm excited to meet Boss Baby at Universal.
Keely or my 5-year-old? Who's more excited to meet Big Bird?
He just said he's excited to meet Boss Baby. You literally look like Boss Baby, except you have facial hair. Oh my God. If you hadn't, why didn't you tell me that before I sent off your Crescent Lake Club shirt today? I would have also sent you a suit t-shirt to wear to go meet Boss Baby.
Oh man.
It'd be like Benjamin Button. Why do you know what? This would have been great content, and you just ruined everything. Thanks, Geeks, for the 300 people that are watching us right now. If you're watching us live on YouTube, please hit that red subscribe button and the bell notification. If you guys are watching us on Twitch, hit that purple follow button so you guys will know when we're going live. Teets will be going live tomorrow, though. And tell us how you'll be streaming and what you will be streaming and what time. Don't say it's Instagram Live.
Well, we'll see how it goes. I don't know the full details yet, but I'll be at Magic Kingdom to see Happily Ever After on debut night. I'm sure that there'll be a million other people streaming and recording it and doing, whatever all the bloggers do because everybody wants to be there for the fireworks debut. And then the 3rd, I'll also be back. I'll be at Epcot that night for Epcot Forever. And then back on the 4th, Happily Ever After again. So
you're hoping for a 4th of July tag on Happily Ever After on the 4th, aren't you?
Well,
or perimeter fireworks.
I'm not sure that will happen, but at least they do more pyro than Universal, so that's why I'm going to Disney for the 4th.
So when are you going to go see the Harry Potter fireworks?
Maybe after Volcano Bay on the 2nd, or yeah.
Well, Teets said he was going to be streaming live. I'm sure it's going to turn into an Instagram live, and he's just going to talk about his stress about Run Disney drama while he watches fireworks, especially when he hears Happily Ever After and The Hunchback of Notre Dame Go the Distance. It's going to make him remember Cone Alley and how he's just not going to be able to get into Dopey because they're not doing an AP early registration period. Where's the lie?
I mean,
you shouldn't have gone on Instagram live before this. As if Courtney, Whitty, and I trying to pull you off sides wasn't evidence enough. Yeah, I was waiting to see how you would answer Whitty's question about how long after birth can you run a race.
I just let that one scroll. I didn't even want to touch that one.
Anyway, you guys, thanks so much. We're watching the subscribers. Don't forget, we are giving away a $50 Disney gift card once we hit 50 subscribers. Tell your friends, hit that red subscribe button here on the Crescent Lake Club. There will be no Teets on Monday, but I may have a special guest on Monday come talk Captain America's Civil War with me so we can keep this speeding along. But Courtney and I will be back on Wednesday, and I'm sure there will be a happiest hour or two with Teets live from Florida this coming up holiday weekend. Everyone, enjoy the 4th of July. Say hi to your friends. Say hi to your family. Be safe. Make sure you check out our blog at crescentlakeclub.com. Follow us on socials. Tell us what's going on, what you're looking forward to. And I can't wait to see what Walt Disney World is going to throw at us for next week, because today was a doozy. So for Courtney, Teets, me, I'm Keels, and the rest of the Crescent Lake Club, thank you guys so much, and we'll see you real soon.